Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Today is just me and Sam here. I feel like we have not sat down because I feel like oh my God, I can't even breathe and speak because we haven't had a minute to just literally sit in a chair and vent about our feelings this week.
It's not, so the last
It's
time
actually
we
not even funny.
time we podcasted, it was probably 2.5 weeks ago, maybe longer. But the last podcast we dropped was 2 weeks ago. Since then, I have gone to Mexico and back. I have gone to my best friend's wedding. We've had a death in the family. A bunch of other shit happened that
My
we can't speak
birthday.
about. Fran had a birthday. She lost her dog. And yeah, so it's been like, I actually don't think I've sat down for an hour not looking at a screen or not dealing with the crisis. And
It's been stressful.
the
So
whole
we're
month of
gonna
May.
sit down today and talk about it. Talk about and vent about what's been going on because I feel like I need a good venting session.
I haven't even had time to blow out my hair, which is why I have frizzy ass hair today. So that's just
I blew my note. I have sew and weave now. Like it's like actually like a weft. And I washed it for the first time yesterday in like a week and a half. And it was the worst thing of my life. Like that was the worst. Anyways, it's like the least of my worries. But anyways,
how much is it to do
I
that?
pay a lot. Pay a lot of money.
How much is it?
I think to actually just get the extensions.
So how much did you pay for that?
For my actual like I did
For everything, for the
highlights
hair and to put it in.
like $850.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I paid $850.
Like, just grow your hair.
No, the extensions were I think about because they're Bellamy. So Bellamy has like, oh my God, I've been through so many extensions on the market, and like Bellamy has the best extensions, and they're expensive. They're like $450, $500, but then you pay installation fee, and then you pay obviously for the highlights, and you pay for whatever the hell what else you're getting. But a lot of hairdressers actually charge way more than like what they buy extensions for $500, and then we'll like okay, you owe me $800 for the extensions.
Well, obviously, because they want to make a profit.
But the person I go to, she's good. Anyways,
I think you should, after this, you should try and grow your hair.
I think not.
I think you can.
But weft lasts so long. Like this can last me like a year, and I don't have to like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like after that, your hair will be long. Like you have similar hair to me, and it took me not that long to grow it. After when I stopped wearing extensions, my hair grew like fucking wildflowers are growing.
I don't know. I just like having long hair. I feel weird with like short hair. Anyways, what was I gonna say? I had a lot to say right now. Where do I start? First off, we had an episode last week talking about. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I laugh in like serious situations. We had an episode last week talking about how scared I was of death and how nobody in my family has died close to me. I think I don't know what I put in the air because our grandma passed away.
It was not you who put it in the air. But anyway, say that again.
Our grandma passed away on last Friday, so a week ago. I don't know why I'm smiling. I'm sorry. I'm like dealing with.
You're like trying to mask it.
I'm trying to mask my emotions right now. Anyway, she passed away. She was 97. God bless, Nana Maria. And we were really, really close to our grandmother. Like every week would be with her. I'd paint her nails. I'd give her spa days. I'd do her mustache. I'd cut her hair. Like literally, like we were besties with our grandma. So she passed, and that was like just weird because I just spoke about how like I'm so scared of death, and then someone close to me just died, and like navigating that was just like, and I hate how we've been talking about death so much on the podcast, but like it's a normal thing to have family and friends pass away. And me and Sam, I kind of want to talk about a little bit about the grieving process or grief, because we talked a little bit about it on a TikTok, and it seemed like people kind of agreed, because this is where me and Sam noticed that like we have different ways of dealing with situations, especially ones like death.
So firstly, I think that like we definitely have people in our family die, but we were too young to really have had an established relationship with them where it really affected us. Like both our mom's brothers have died, so both of our Zios, which obviously the aftermath of that really affects our family because our Nana and Nana lost two sons, and we have cousins without like fathers, right? But the actual impact of their death didn't. I don't want this sounds bad, but the impact of their death wasn't big on us because we were too young to even really recognize that or those feelings. So, like she said, we've never had anyone close to us pass away before, and we were really close to our Nana. And we did want to make like a speech at like. I'm just gonna be blatantly honest here. We wanted to make a speech at her funeral at the church, but it it didn't feel like a safe space for us to express those emotions with the audience that was there. So, you know, we have a podcast, and this is probably the safest space that we have. It's just me, Fran, and Chris over there. So
we feel more comfortable with him.
With him than the people that are in that church. Anyways, so like that's why we kind of want to talk about it here. And we're not going to just talk about our nana. Like I know some of you probably don't care like about that, but
well, we're not talking about nana. We're talking about grief.
Yeah, because again, this like our podcast is somewhere where I just like to reiterate this, just to circle back to what our goal is here, and it's to just be real with people on things that we encounter as we go along the journey of life and this journey of adulting. You know what I mean? And like this is just like something that comes up that hasn't come up before. So why not share? Because
not only that, I feel like I was just talking to Chris about this, like that clip you made yesterday of me being like, oh, I don't want my kid being murderers. Like
that's a real thought.
No, I know, but I was thinking like no one would say that out loud. Like no one would be like, no one really has that thought on a day-to-day and like says that to somebody. So like, I don't know. It's just kind of like hyper relatability. Like we're saying what I feel like everyone kind of feels or may think, in just like a real safe space.
And the first thing that I want to say that people may feel or think sometimes, right? Like every family is different, but in this case, there was a death and everyone in the family, cousins, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, had a different relationship with this person, our nana. Like Fran said, we were very close to her because of a situation in our immediate family that transpired. Like our parents were separated, so our dad spent most of his time downtown now, which is where my nana lives. So because we were always downtown with my dad, we were also always with my nana. Not to say that we wouldn't be as close with her if our parents hadn't separated, but that's just the reality of the situation. We got very close with our nana in the last like 5 years. So if I'm being honest with you, like you kind of, I don't know, I kind of had a feeling that she was going to die soon. Like, I know that sounds bad, but again, I'm just saying what I was thinking. Like, situations happened where, like, her living situation changed. There was a bunch of stuff that went down. And I just had this feeling that it was, like, a snowball effect and that she was going to die. So, like, when she did die, not that I wasn't surprised, but I kind of, like, already mentally prepared for that happening. And I think that the hardest part when someone dies is kind of dealing with and having to navigate other people's emotions and like the environment around you. Like having to sit there in a room with maybe family members or friends or other people who you don't see often or you don't really relate to and have to like also mourn your family member's death. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think for me, that was the hardest part because I'm not about to cry and express my deepest emotions in front of people that I'm not entirely comfortable with. And I know it's not about that. It's about my nana, but that's honestly just how I felt in that moment.
But at the same time, it's also kind of like you feel guilty after because, you know, I feel like I didn't have the right headspace to grieve her. Like, I didn't even really like, I don't know, like I show a lot more emotion than Sam. That's why I kind of want to get into like grieving. We talked about this on TikTok. Like, it's okay to grieve in different ways. Like, I have no problem expressing my emotions in terms of like crying. Like, I'm okay to cry in front of people if I feel like that's what I need to do. And that's what I did. Like, and when she was in the hospital on her last day on the Thursday and we went to go see her and she was not doing well, Sam was like working like in the other room, like on her laptop. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, how are you not sad? How are you not in there with her? I'm like, you're not showing any emotion. Like, how do you not care? And I was like here kind of frantic, like anxious, crying. And I was kind of getting angry at her because it's like, why are you not grieving the same way that I'm grieving? A, it made me feel like maybe like she didn't care, which kind of upset me. And B, it made me feel like, am I like being too emotional? Am I embarrassing myself by like showing my emotion? I don't know how to explain it, but that's kind of just how I felt. I can't speak for her, but I feel like she felt where it's like, I need space and I don't think you really understand that kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt like because of where we were in the hospital and the whole family was there. Like, we're talking like extended family, right? Like my nana's other kids and our cousins and their kids. And it was just so many people in an environment where I did not feel comfortable. I did not feel comfortable sitting there watching my nana on the bed, like not even awake, and have everyone there. So I was like, I need to go and distract myself from this and like revisit these emotions later. Like, I know for Fran, it seemed like I was like avoiding it. Like I was kind of in denial about what was happening, but
well, because Sam was like, oh, like oh, she's gonna be fine. I'm like, I don't think you're processing. Like,
I just didn't feel comfortable. I grieved her in my own way in private at my house when I was able to actually think about all the memories, and I wrote something down because we were, like I said, we were going to say a speech and then we didn't. So I wrote down basically the memories I had from when I was little, when we used to live with my nonna and she used to like sneak me cookies after my parents said no, to when we moved and it was like a weird thing not to see my nonna every day anymore, to now when we were older and we'd spend every Sunday with her. So I reflected on that and like kind of cried to myself and just like remembered her to myself. And during her burial, I was like very much in my own headspace. Like I walked away and had my time alone. But I just realized that like if I'm not comfortable with the people around me, I will not express myself and my emotions. And I think that that's okay too, because for me, I just need a safe space to be able to do that. And it didn't feel like a safe space. It didn't feel like a comfortable space. And Fran was annoying me because she was like, we need to go. We need to go in there. We need to go in the room. Let's go in the room. Let's go. And it was like, it was getting me like actually anxious because I was like, I genuinely don't want to be in that room right now. Like, I do not want to be there because instead of being sad and emotional and like really expressing the way I wanted to feel about my nonna, I would have probably started to get angry and upset and resentful because of other things that were going on. Like, I don't want to speak on those things, but I don't know if that makes sense. But basically, the point is that we kind of realize that like the way that people grieve and express their emotions and like really hyperactive emotional moments like death or someone dying is very different and for different reasons. Like,
yeah. And I also think it comes in waves. Like there'll be times where like I'll be really, really sad. And then there'll be times where I'm like happy and like, I don't know. Anyways, R.I.P. Nana. I know she's with us. So that was that.
I actually want to say, so I took Kiki on a walk the other day. Yesterday. And I saw a woodpecker. I've never seen.
No, actually. So remember Samantha? We had that spiritual girl on our podcast, Samantha. She messaged me saying RIP, like she's with you. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I feel like she's with me. She goes, if you see random birds that you never see. I
literally did.
Yeah.
I saw a woodpecker. I was like, a woodpecker. It was on a random, like the tree was probably as big as a tree that's behind Fran right now. Not big. It had like a thin trunk. And there was a woodpecker and it had like a red mohawk.
Yeah, it's
and it was pecking the wood in the middle of this like suburban area in a small tree. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I remembered that at Nonna Maria's, we used to watch Woody the Woodpecker. Do you remember? And every morning we'd watch a cartoon and it would be like, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.
I don't remember.
You don't
that.
remember
I was
that?
Really young,
My dad
though.
would remember that. Because every Saturday morning, we used to live at my Nonna's when we used to like come down and watch cartoons. It was always Woody the Woodpecker. And so yesterday I saw the woodpecker. It's literally giving me chills. I was like, holy shit.
Also, the day before her viewing, Kiki was being fucking weird. Like scratching me, looking up in my room, like being really scared. And then when I went to my Nunno's house, he said that Lucky, his dog, the same day on Wednesday was doing the same thing. And Lucky never does that, like running around. He went to like Nunno's bedroom, scratched him. So you know what? I believe in that 100%.
And like, I'm not scared. Like I used to be scared to like see ghosts and like things like that. Oh, another thing. Remember what I told you about the Tim Hortons when I went to Tim Hortons? So the day before that she died, we were in the hospital and she was like unresponsive, whatever. And like everyone was kind of like, holy fuck, like this might be it. I went to the Tim Hortons in the hospital and there was nobody there. Like there was nobody in line, nobody behind me. It was just me. And I was waiting for my coffee and I felt something like grab the back of my hip, kind of brush me. And so I turned around because I thought it was Fran coming to see like if I was done. I don't know what I thought. And there was nobody there. And I'm not making this up because I don't make shit like this up. And that happened to Fran in our kitchen.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just weird coincidences. But unfortunately, the funeral was also on my birthday, which sucked. Not because it was like, I'm not trying to be selfish, like my birthday. I'm like, "Meh," but just like a shitty memory to have. And I just felt like sounds weird, but I feel like I shouldn't have been. I don't know. I just even feel like now, like I'm doing something on the weekend for it. And I've been going back and forth with plans because I feel guilty for almost celebrating me turning like another year while like somebody else.
But Nonna lives 97 years. So I think that she would want you to celebrate every year of your life too. Like, I don't think that you should feel guilty. Sorry. Just don't mind me reapplying my.
Anyways, going back to that, I'm 24 now. I turned 24. Kind of sounds old-ish.
Really?
Kinda.
That's old I'm turning.
You're old, but like 24 now is starting to get old. Like when I say 23, like I don't feel like it's like old, but 24 is like.
You're officially mid-20s, by the way.
No, it's not. Yes, 25 is mid-20s.
No, it's not. 20 to 23 is early 20s.
I disagree.
24 to 26 is mid-20s. 27 to 29 is late 20s. I disagree.
I think 20 to 25 is early. No, I think 2024 is early. 25 to 26.
No, because that's like too much of a, you have to have an equal
I think
timeline.
25 and 26 is like middle.
No, it's not, because 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 4 years of early. 24, 25, 26, 3 mid, 27, 28, 29.
Because you're late 30. You're late 20s. You're almost 30. Anyways.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel weird, but
how old are you, Chris?
you're early 30s. You're fine.
I just hate when we talk about how like we're in our late 20s and there's someone else
Someone
who's like
older
30
and they're like, fuck off.
They're like, fuck you. You're not old.
But yeah, and as I've been like going through this birthday, I think this birthday really made me realize that like birthdays don't have to be like a big thing. And Sam always tells me like, why do you make your birthday a big deal all the time? Like,
okay, no, I didn't say that. I said that I think it's fine to make your birthday a big deal. She puts too much pressure on herself and everybody else for her birthday. She will remind me to get her a cake. Like she thinks I'm stupid. She's like, oh, you can get me a cake, by the way, if you want to like get the cake. And I'm like, why are you?
It's because I'm an anxious planner.
It's like, it's so, friend. Like honestly, it actually pisses me off thinking about it. It's so annoying. Just today, she was like, yeah, I'm canceling everything after I've already ordered something.
Well, that's because something happened, and like I don't want to talk about the podcast, but like I don't know. I just feel like I'm so anxious that like that's why no one can ever do something for my birthdays, because I'm anxious. Like I'm just anxious about it. And like I've kind of learned now too, I'd rather just freaking have a good time with the people that I'm closest with. It doesn't have to be like a huge ordeal kind of thing. But I was also grown up in like the environment that like my friends would always do something like be above and beyond for their birthday. So I always felt like I had to kind of do that. But like I don't even like doing that.
I don't care about it anymore. I used to put pressure on my birthday too, but now I'm like, I'd rather do nothing because I don't want to be disappointed. That's what I do.
If people want to do something for me, then fucking just do it. I'm not going to be involved anymore. So if I want to get cake
really,
from today, that's fine. I'm kidding. I was making a joke.
Anyways, so what have I done in the last few weeks?
Talk about Cabo or Mexico.
I didn't go to Cabo.
Whatever.
So I went to Mexico. We went to Tulum. I would go back there in a heartbeat, but guys, it is so fucking expensive. Like, it's like the prices of like going to Vegas, because it's not all inclusive unless you go to an all inclusive. But like if you really want that Tulum experience, you need to go to more like a villa, a nice hotel or something. Mm-hmm. But everything like costs money. Water costs money. You can't get free water there.
Yeah.
Like it's astonishing.
What was the best experience there that you had?
Probably going on the yacht. Like we went.
Can you talk about it or no?
It was fun. It was fun.
Why are you laughing?
Because it was just like, it was a fun time. Like we got really drunk on the yacht and we had like the crew members like dancing for us and shit. Like it was a fun time. It's really pretty there. And I think like I would definitely go back there, and I'm trying to convince Fran to just like let go of her anxieties, let go about the fact about money. And like, I want to go there. No, listen, I want to go there for like a week, but work there. You know how many people I saw working there? And so I went up to this one girl and I was like, well, I didn't actually go up to her, but I was like kind of talking to her, and she took a picture for us. And then after I was like, oh, hey, like, what are you here for? You're on vacation? And she was like, I'm just on a solo trip for a couple of days. And she's from LA, and she's a digital like nomad type of girl. Like I looked her up on Instagram and shit, but she works in like marketing and like advertising. And she was there working. Like every day she would be on the beach on her laptop. Then at night she would have dinner in the hotel. So the hotel that we were at is more of like a wellness resort place. So you can either go to Tulum and like party. Like there's like the restaurants and the parties there are so nice. All the girls from Selling Sunset, they go to like the area that we were in. I saw like them there. And
so them there?
Like on their Instagram. Or you can go to Tulum and it be zen as fuck. Like our resort was a wellness resort. So there was free yoga at 9 a.m. every morning. They burn sage in the morning everywhere. They bring you coffee and like tea to your rooms. They play like ambiance music. Like it's really nice. It's expensive, but it's nice.
I would do that.
I want to convince Fran to go there so that we can like create content for the podcast and the Instagram for a week, but also work so we don't have to take any days off work and we're still like making money at the same time. But so it's kind of like you break even.
I feel like we can do that though, like at a less expensive place right now though. Like why not go to BC and do that? I'd be so down for that.
Why BC?
No, I've never been to BC, or like Prince Edward Island.
Fran. Well, we tried to look into PEI and like there's really jack shit to do there. Like you like at least in Tulum, like
I feel like
you have the sun, right? Like you're sitting there and you have like you can just run into the water if you want to cool off. Like this girl was literally on her laptop every day, and then she would take a break, she would go eat, and she would come back, and she said at nighttime she would just explore and like go for dinner.
No, I know, but I don't know. I'm down for that. I'm also just down for like other places too. Like I actually really want to go to like PEI or like somewhere in Canada that's not.
We basically want to, we've been saying we want to do this. I don't know when we're going to do it, but I want to do it soon. Is just go somewhere, work for a week, and just have like a week itinerary of like what we're going to do for the podcast and like create content and maybe like explore some like local eats and things like that. Like make content there and like have this whole trip focused on just like being uncomfortable in a different space and doing our everyday thing we usually do.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? You know Safe Haven, the movie? Where that girl like moves and cuts her hair because she's like on like her husband's like trying to like kill her or something.
Yeah.
And Josh Duhamel is
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that vibe. Are they in PEI there?
No. Friend, trust me, you would like this. Okay, we don't. It doesn't need to be Tulum, but I'm just saying, like, it should be something like that. And I'm waiting on her to be like, "Hey, let's do it," because, like we said, she changes her mind every 5 seconds. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so that was that. I wanted to talk about the fact that I think that it's important to face your fears in order to get over your fears, because although like I love the girls we went with, like they're some of my like really good friends, and like we went for a bachelorette, and like the girl getting married is one of my best friends. It's different than going with someone you're like so comfortable with that you can be the most
Tell to
comfortable
fuck
with. Like,
off.
yeah, tell to fuck off, right? Like my sister or like Roman or like
Wow.
my parents, right? Like
What? People can really tell your parents to fuck off?
no, not in that way. What I'm talking about is a plane. We've talked about my plane anxiety before.
Mm.
I was so anxious to go on this flight because I was like, I'm not with like those people who like know how scared I am. I'm sure these people now know how scared I am. But I was just proud of myself that I like survived these flights in terms of my anxiety and didn't like, I don't know, and didn't need like Roman there, for example, because he's always like the person that I'm like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I had to shut off my phone and be like, okay, I need to shut the fuck up because these girls are going to be like, you're crazy,
Yeah.
you know?
Well,
And like, I wasn't even sitting beside Yosra. I was sitting beside this other like girl we went with who I know, and like she's great too. But like, I did feel embarrassed to like be fully expressive with my anxiety. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But anyways, I need to keep going on flights because I was better on these ones than usual. Like I was
well, you're
actually
probably
better.
also a little bit drugged out, no?
Yeah, I was. When I came back, Roman literally said I looked like I was like rolling.
Yeah.
Like I was literally fucked up for like a day after because of like the plane pills or whatever. Anyways, so that's what I want to say about that. Other than that,
That's
one of my best friends
Yeah, I
got
was gonna say,
married.
I went to a wedding. That was really nice.
That was fun.
I think it's weird seeing people that you used to know get married now. It's kind of like,
Yeah, that you grew up
is it
with.
real? Well, she's obviously more your friend than mine, but like I went to elementary school with
But you grew
both
up
of
with
them.
her and
Yeah.
around them.
And I know like this, I know Tucker's sister and like.
Yeah. But no, that was definitely a fun time.
But I was thinking like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that in front of people. Like
What?
just some of the things.
Well, what she said is that like, 'cause like they're not like the most outgoing people either. But she said that like when you're getting married and like doing the first dance and like the walk down the aisle and the kiss, she was like, you just have to remember or like try and think it's only you and them there. Otherwise, you're not going to be mindful.
You also only got one shot.
You got one shot
your wedding
most of the
video.
time, right? So like you only have one wedding. And she was like, if you're not mindful and you don't pretend like it's only you and them, you're going to be worried about everyone else looking
Yeah.
at you. Like, do I have a fucking armpit hair? Do I have like a stain? Do I have this? Is my hair out of place? You know what I mean? She was like,
Yeah.
you're not going to actually enjoy it.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like people forget like it's you and this other person getting married. Like you're a lot of people I heard on TikTok say that like some weddings, like some people got married, like didn't even see their husband for like the rest of the night because they're so preoccupied of like making sure everybody else is okay or like, hey, God, like taking shots with people that you forget that like you're getting married to your husband. Like that's also a celebration of like you two.
Yeah. She said that they like had a really good time and it was a lot of fun and that they were really focused on each other. So that's good. Something that I did want to talk about, just because we're talking about like everything that we've been doing the last month.
Vanderpump Rules or no?
No, but I don't need to because I just hear all about it on TikTok. Okay, we'll get there. Hold on, let me just.
Well, no, I feel like it's like, kind of irrelevant by the time this comes out, but I'm just saying like,
I don't think it's relevant because a new season's coming out.
is it?
Yeah,
They
Isn't it?
announced it? I
I
don't
don't
think there is.
I think there is.
No, because they
No, there is.
they were saying like Raquel, the cheater girl, the best friend, came out after the reunion, like saying that she lied on the reunion about timelines and about when they actually like had sex and stuff. And it was pretty fucked up. Like I don't think a lot of the cast members are gonna come back.
What do you mean?
Like they lied on the reunion about when they started sleeping together.
They started sleeping together before They said they did?
They started, like, they lied about a bunch of shit. Like, they were asked, like, have you ever slept in the house while Ariana was there or in Tom's house? They said no, but they actually did. They slept together when Ariana was at her grandma's funeral out of town. And, like, they did it. And when the dog died, like, a lot of shit. And I don't think there's going to be a season 11.
I think that there definitely is. Why wouldn't there be?
Because Raquel's not going to come back.
So?
Neither is Tom. And neither is Ariana. That makes the whole thing.
I really think that they will come back.
I don't
Why
know.
wouldn't they? Ariana's making endorsements and
I know,
ads
every time I see her
on
on
TikTok
TikTok,
that like
People
surround
are kind
the
of, like,
cheating.
annoyed, though.
Yeah, like, are you even sad about it?
No, not that. They're like, people get cheated on every single day. And, like, why has this been dragged on? I'm like, well, it's reality TV.
Yeah, but we've all been cheated on. Like, why can't I make some money from being a fucking victim of
Did
cheating?
your best friend cheat on you?
Doesn't fucking matter. I'm sure there's a lot of best friends who have cheated on.
That's what I'm saying. People are like, why is this being dragged on? Like, okay, she got cheated on. Like, so sorry. Like, that's unfortunate. And, like,
I mean, I don't know. I guess
horrible?
make your money if you can, and you might as well capitalize on it.
well, it's also because their lives were televised. I feel like it's inevitable that, like,
Speaking of lives that are televised, me and Fran are literally gonna be on.
we say this every fucking podcast.
I'm
People
trying
are like,
to
can you
manifest
guys
it.
shut the fuck
Okay,
up?
no, but seriously, that guy was like, "Are you gonna apply?"
Yeah, we're going to apply for the challenge now. So fuck Amazing Grace. We're going
No,
for
no, not fucking Amazing Race. That might still be a possibility. But there's a show called Canada's Ultimate Challenge, and we're gonna apply as like a pair. And the guy that posted it was like, "Are you gonna apply? Looking forward to seeing your audition." So we're like,
Yeah, we have to get on that. We should probably do
"Yeah, I
that
mean, we can do that like
at
we
the
have to.
studio.
We
can do it here.
Anyways, what
I
I
don't
wanted
even
to,
know what that show is about. What do you do? Challenges?
yeah, you. Well, I mean, you should probably know.
Well, I'll research, but
Yeah, you do like it's like the challenge, but it's like 2 teams.
okay.
So like
But that'd be funny if we weren't on the same team.
that's what I mean. That's why, because I told him, I was like, it doesn't look like it's a show for pairs, and he's like, yeah, but like we could see how like that could fit, because I remember watching.
They wouldn't put us on the same team.
No, okay, they could do one of 2 things. One thing they can do is put us on the same team, but other people wouldn't know that like we know each other or are related.
If it would?
How?
What do you mean how? We can't just lie. We look the exact fucking same.
No, we don't.
We're gonna go in there and just be like, hey, I don't know you. You look like me. Like,
Well, okay, on Big Brother, one time they casted a brother and like 2 brothers, and everyone in the house didn't know that they were brothers. So their like strategy was like, don't tell people that
No,
they're brothers.
I think
Wait,
they would-
listen. They said don't tell people that we're brothers until like we absolutely have to. So then they formed an alliance, and only the alliance eventually knew that they were brothers. And then when the audience knew, like the viewer knew, then you're kind of like, wait, they look alike. But at first you don't think like, oh, they kind of look alike. So they
I
could do
wouldn't be able
that.
to fake that. I would laugh. If someone was, I was like, hello, how are you? I'd like laugh.
I mean, I don't think it's a big deal that like if they knew that we were sisters and we were on the same team.
No,
But I
I
think it'd
think
be
if-
jokes if they put us on
That's
separate
what I'm saying. I
teams.
think that's what they would do. And then like try to make other people like against us. And then
Yeah, and try and make us against
But
each other.
also-
You know what we could do is just if your team wins, you give me some of the money, and if my team wins, I'll give you some of the money. So it's a win-win.
maybe that's why they wouldn't do that though.
Exactly.
That's why they put us on the same team and then maybe try to get other people like, I don't know.
Anyways, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't put us in separate teams.
Would you guys watch if we were on a reality TV show? Bro, I would literally get my lashes done before we went
Yeah,
and just like crawl in the mud all cute and shit and win. Like we'd win and look good doing it.
fucking cocky. Like,
I'm just saying.
anywho.
But that's what's different. You know what I mean? Like people that go on there are so like athletic.
No,
and
I've seen really like
not on this show. No offense. No, not that they're not good looking. I mean, like they genuinely don't like. They're like, fuck my hair, fuck this, fuck that. Which maybe we
No,
get to
I've
that
seen
point
on the challenge. Those celebrity people that go
on the challenge. Yeah, on the challenge, there's some girls that like they'll literally do a full face and like braid their hair and shit, and then go and like hike a mountain.
I
and
saw
win.
a girl. I think it was on the challenge where they were. Was it? Oh, that was Italy. Big Brother. I was watching Italian Big Brother, and they had to sit on a swing. Like they had to like hold themselves on a swing while fire was underneath them. I was like, what the fuck is
Oh,
this?
yeah.
And they were like sweating, like holding onto this thing. And a girl
But
came.
I think it's entertaining when you see like a woman who like, because like usually it's not mutually exclusive because you have somebody who's into hair and makeup and beauty and extensions and shit like that. And then you have someone who's like really strong and tough and can do a tough mudder and run through mud and hike mountains, and like not the two combined together most of the time. But I think when the two worlds collide and combine together, it's entertaining to watch because it's almost like you're breaking down that like wall. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That stereotype.
Yeah, it's true.
So anyways,
Okay.
Like I said, something I want to talk about was. Oh, actually, I do want to talk about a girly thing.
Okay.
Not to be like girl boy, but I feel like we never talk about like products and things we like.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think it's hard for me to talk about though, because I don't have like one product.
But you
that
do. But
I
like,
don't,
what's
though.
like? No, not one product, but like just stuff that like we love to use and shit. You know what I mean? And I wanted to talk about one product or like type of
Nyx.
product. No, not like a. It doesn't have to be a specific thing, but one general type of product that we think is worth investing in. Go.
Like I don't know though.
Really? Not your
What?
$850 hair extensions?
Well, no, I don't think that's worth investing in. Like, is that a need? No, that's a want for me.
I think
A straightener.
Okay, you're boring. I think that what's worth investing in is sunscreen.
That's not boring. Like, thank
No.
you. Everybody knows that.
No, because you don't wear sunscreen.
Yes, I do. I
Yeah, you
started.
wear the shitty sunscreen.
No, I don't. Shiseido. I wear Shiseido
Did you do
sunscreen.
your research? Is it a mineral sunscreen?
Don't know.
Does it have
Look
the
it
bad
up.
products in it?
I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, I think that you guys, I've been on a research rampage about sunscreen, and even the ones that say that they're like clean and organic are not clean and organic. And I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I just think that like I just went on a rampage about
Actually,
all these
sunscreen's not even that good for you.
No, but that's what
in
I'm
general.
saying. No, but if it's a mineral one, like it just has
I don't know.
minerals.
Think about
Minerals.
plants.
Okay.
No, it's true though.
We're not plants.
We are though.
We're plants, but we're not actual plants.
No, thank you. Like I understand that you're not a freaking
Cactus?
like. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Is sunscreen good for you?
No, the chemicals in sunscreen aren't good for you. But like I was saying, it's worth it to invest in a complete mineral sunscreen. And they're more expensive. But like if it's complete minerals and you invest in it, then you're protected from the sun. Because you can't just go in the sun without sunscreen. You know what I mean?
But why not?
I've been down a spiral of all these like 20,
But why not?
20-year-olds getting skin cancer.
In the olden days, that's what they did. And I don't think skin cancer was very prominent in the olden days.
And also think about it. There's not that many people in like countries that are like hot, naturally hot tropical countries that get skin cancer. Most people that get skin cancer are people who are,
Americans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think it has a
that's
lot
not
to
a
do.
stat. That's just a
no,
generalization.
we're not. Oh my God, please. We're not coming. We're not
Yeah,
research.
we're not. This is not.
I'm
Stats
just saying
Canada.
it's our opinion. Maybe it comes from other things like the food you eat, the things you do, the chemicals you use in your hair.
Oh my God. And I was reading about people who use sunbeds. Don't. Like, seriously don't. And stop using, like, also the tanners that we use. Get an organic tanner.
I do that.
What?
I do spray tans organic DHA.
No, but I'm saying, like, the one that you rub on your body.
I don't use that anymore.
Oh.
I've quit.
Okay, well,
Cold
there's...
turkey.
Huh?
I've quit.
So you have a spray tan right now?
Yeah.
And how often do you do that?
Well, once every 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, when it fades. When I have
You've
an
been
event.
going once every 2 weeks?
Well, because I've been going once every 2 to 3 weeks now because I've had events come up like every fucking weekend.
I don't know. I don't like getting spray tans because, like, I feel like they stick to my clothes and sheets.
They don't. This one's really good.
Who do you go to?
The one in Bernard, like the tanning salon, used to be Planet Sun. They're amazing.
Interesting.
It's pretty cheap, $40. Usually it's like freaking 60 for someone to do it for you.
Well, anyways, next, what else do you want to talk about?
Wait, what else do I think you should invest in? Good conditioner and shampoo.
Okay. Not even good, but that's another thing. Healthy conditioner and shampoo. Get it from Healthy Planet. I know it's expensive, but invest in it. I've never seen my hair grow so fast. Like, even ask French, she wouldn't even admit that my hair grew, but
Why do you say that? I always you
No,
can
you don't.
look how long my hair. I'm like, yeah, I got long.
yeah,
Why do you,
I have to say it. I have to like make you recognize how long my hair
well,
got.
why do you have to make?
Because I don't know why you can't just be like, wow, your hair looks really nice.
Why can't you say, oh, you look pretty today?
Well, because
Exactly. Like it's like
if your hair got long, I would be like, holy shit, your hair's long.
your hair's always been long though.
No, it
It's
hasn't.
been long now for like 2 years, and you ask me every single day, look how long it got. Like it's the same length as it was 2 years ago.
Okay,
It's
well,
long.
before 2 years ago, it was like
And
really.
Sam makes it like kind of like a jab. Like look how my long. Look how
No,
long,
I don't.
Yeah, look how long my hair is naturally. Naturally, like okay.
no,
cool.
I don't. I don't.
Okay.
I really don't do that at all. But okay. Anyways,
Anyways, should
I
we make
was-
a shirt that says anyways?
merch.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's
it just
actually
says
jokes.
Anyways, yeah, but I feel like who the fuck's gonna wear a shirt that says anyways?
A lot of people who say anyways. People who have neurotic thoughts that literally can't stay on one thought for
We should
long
make
enough.
a mug that just literally says Fran with 2 colons and put like a bunch of like anyways.
No one's gonna drink a mug that says Fran on it unless their name's Fran.
No, not with Fran then, just like a bunch of like word vomit, and then the end goes dot dot dot. Anyways,
Yeah. It's pretty
anyways,
jokes.
okay.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, go ahead. What's next on the agenda to talk about today? But like typical Fran gets distracted by her phone, even though we're podcasting.
Oh,
and she
sorry, I
be
got
on
an
her
important
phone.
message I don't feel like dealing with right now.
So why are you looking at your phone?
Because I just got that message from somebody. I don't feel like dealing with it.
Okay.
What was I saying?
I don't know. I said, what's next on your agenda? She said, you said you have a lot to talk about.
Also things that I feel like you should have that I've been investing in is jewelry. I never used to like buying jewelry. I only used to wear jewelry also when it was like given to me. I never go out and buy it, but I feel like I've been wearing jewelry a lot with like outfits. I feel like that's kind of weird to say. It's like obviously, but I've been wearing like a lot of like jewelry. It makes me actually feel prettier.
I know. I like these earrings. Kristen got them for me, and they're from this website called I forgot. But anyways, my friend got them for me. They're from Olive and Piper. And like when you actually look on the website, it's not like cheap jewelry, like $10 from Claire's, but like it's cheap enough that it's not going to break your bank, and it's not like $200. You know what I mean? And if you buy a couple of pieces from there, like I agree, it can elevate it. I always wear like just like little hoops.
I've been
and
liking.
shit.
I'm not wearing right now, but I've been liking rings.
I
too.
always wear rings.
Like a lot of rings, or like also mixing silver and gold. I've been doing too.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends what kind. But anyways,
like these earrings are like diamond silver, but then there's like a gold plate behind it. So like that's fine, I think. But you can't wear like a gold hoop and then like
no, but I'm saying like bracelets.
Oh yeah.
We were on TikTok live the other day, and we had like interesting conversation.
No, I think this is a totally different
No, but it's not
conversation.
about that. It's just about one person was saying to me how they don't love when their partner goes out without them because they feel like a man should be protective of the woman. Or like, what did they say? I don't want to fuck up their words, but basically,
Can we ask you a question? Okay, continue.
ask Chris a question first, and maybe he can.
But give the background while he
anyways,
sets that up.
basically that like a man should be the protector in the relationship, and that like that's his kind of duty, and then the woman should be submissive to the man because he's providing her with that protection. And I gave the example of me and my boyfriend were on a walk, and I had like a freaking neurotic thought, and I was like, "What would you do if like zombie came at like us right now?" He's like, "Well, I tell you to run. I'd like fight them off." And I was like, "But why can't I fight them off?" He's like, "You're gonna fight off the zombie, kind of like whatever, like kind of give in that role where it's like, okay, I'd be the protector and you'd be the one to kind of like get shelter, kind of thing." And like totally, I love that. Like that's cool, and like obviously, I want the person I'm with to like be able to defend me. But I feel like we were raised by a girl dad, and I feel like girl dads were all raised the same, kind of in the fact that like you don't need a man to, not in that way, but kind of like you can defend and protect yourself. Like if somebody's coming at you, give them a punch, or like if you're not with your boyfriend, like you should be able to like defend yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like a lot of girl dads are like that because it's like trying to like raise you in the fact that like you are independent on what you do. So I want to ask Chris, do you? Okay, I guess there's a double question. A, do you care if your is it wife or
Yeah.
do you care if your wife goes out without you in terms of like bars, clubs, that kind of thing? And do you feel like if you're not there, like she wouldn't be able to like defend herself over somebody who may be
Like a
hitting on her,
zombie?
Or a zombie.
or like hitting on her, whatever, like that kind
Or
of
just a bad situation.
yeah.
Nah. She goes out, like she'll go, like we live in Whitby, so like we can like walk downtown.
Uh-huh.
So like she'll go out like all the time, like not all the time, but she'll go out with her friends. Like they'll go downtown to the pub, go out for drinks and stuff. So no, I don't really worry about it.
Yeah.
Maybe if like someone was like violent, I'd be like I don't like when she goes out. I don't really like give it like a second thought.
Yeah.
And she'll tell me like, oh, like I got hit on, or like, hey, someone came up to me, and it's like we've also been together for like 10 years.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
But when she
and-
says something like that, you're kind of like, oh, cool. Like,
Yeah, I'm just like, oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
I got a bad one still.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
No, like, yeah, it doesn't really like bother me. Like, once you got trust, it's like, whatever.
that's what I think. Like, well, thank you, Chris. For your
No
input.
worries.
That's what I think too. I think that there's this like weird thing, but it really depends on the dynamic of your relationship too. I think every like woman wants low key their guy. I think they want to be like, oh, someone hit on me, and like they low key want the guy to be like, who was it? Like, do you need me to come there? You know what I mean? But I'm with like a guy who's similar, like how Chris just said. If I said that to Roman, he'd be like, oh, sick. Well, good thing you're coming home to me type of thing. You know, he would never be
it's
like,
a compliment.
I'm going to come there right now. But it's like you low-key want that like a little, But then at the same time, girls are weird because it's also like, don't fucking start shit. You know what I mean?
I think
So
it'd be
it's
cool to
it's
be like,
a
oh,
weird thing.
I think it's a good thought to be like, oh wow, like my girl's hot. Like I
Yeah,
got
I think
people,
that-
you know
I
what I
think that
mean?
that's
Like I
good,
got,
yeah.
and like you should know that she should be able to defend herself. And I
Yeah.
was trying to say that on TikTok Live, and people were like, "You be the one." I'm like, what the fuck are you
So on
talking
TikTok
about?
Live, basically the people were grilling us because they're like, you would cheat. And we're like, we wouldn't cheat just because we're saying like,
We're
we
able to
wa-
defend ourselves
not
without our
even
boyfriend.
defend, but like I'm able to go to a bar downtown Toronto by myself and be okay. Like
and
if
also
someone hits
remove
on me,
myself from a situation. No, remove ourselves from a situation if it's uncomfortable. And they'd be like, "Well, you don't want your boyfriend there." I'm like, "Why does my boyfriend have to be stuck to my side?"
no,
going-
sometimes you don't like. Sometimes you don't want your significant other there, not because you're doing something that you shouldn't do, but because you need that time apart to be able to like have your own thoughts, form your own opinions, to come back together and miss each other more. Like when I was in Mexico, Roman was in Cancun. Well, that's also Mexico, but I was in Tulum and he was in Cancun. So we were in totally different parts, and he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. It wasn't like, because my significant other was also somewhere else, it wasn't like, oh my God, what are you doing? Who's there? What's happening? This and that every 2 seconds. Like, I don't think that that's healthy. I think that like, it was great that we had our time apart. We were able to have fun with our friends and trust each other enough that we're not going to get into bad situations.
Yeah.
And then come back together, talk about it, be open about, you know, what did we do? Where did we go? Like, what fun did we have? And that's it. Like, I think that you create, again, back to boundaries. Like, I'm not going to go out every fucking weekend.
Yeah.
My significant other isn't going to go out every weekend. We're not going to be going to bars and shit
or
all the
with
time.
people that are like bad influences.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know, if you're always hanging, okay, this is also another question. If you have a friend who's like a chronic cheater, a serial cheater, do you continue to hang out with them if you're in a relationship knowing that this person always gets themselves into situations where they're cheating on
No.
their significant other?
Maybe one-on-one, if it's like at a restaurant with dinner, fine. But if it's a situation where I feel like they would put me in a bad situation, no. And that's
I've
where
had
I
that.
and that's where I feel like, for example, I'm going on vacation to Punta Cana with my friend Isabella, like Izzy, and you know, some people may look at that as like, you're going on vacation, just you and your friend. Like, okay, who cares? Like, if I'm in a
I
relationship,
would never think that.
a lot of people do.
personally,
But also, it's like I would never put myself in a situation where I'd go on a vacation with a friend that I knew, if they're, for example, if Isabella was a chronic cheater and I'm going to Punta Cana with her, in the back of my mind, I'm like, are you going to put me in an ugly situation? I feel like you have to recognize like who would do that. But I personally wouldn't continue going out with that person in situations where it's like a bar or a club or a vacation kind of thing.
I think that who you surround yourself with says a lot about you. I know some people don't think that. I know some people think like, I'm my own person. Like, I'm not the people I hang out with. I agree with that to a certain extent, but it's inevitable that if you're hanging around the same person week after week, weekend after weekend, you're always going on vacation with people who are just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. For
And you're
example,
also having that chatter in your ear, like about like, I don't know, what they did or like,
or
who,
like, this girl's so hot, I'm gonna go like hit on her. This
or
and that
sending
all the time.
pictures and stuff. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, okay, like that's a little bit like you don't want to be around that environment when you're in a relationship. But
But at the same time, back to trust, I think like if you don't have trust, you don't have anything. And there's always going to be those like traditional like men and women roles that like some people prefer, and that's fine. Like that's how the people on the TikTok live we're talking about were. Like there are these people that were very much like, no, I'm the protector and you need to be submissive to me. Like you don't have to work, but you can't go out unless I'm there. And it's like, okay, maybe some women like that. That's totally fine. But I don't think that that's always healthy. Like I think both people need to be willing and
Some
okay with that
independence.
type of relationship. But like that's just not me.
also, last thing before we wrap up. Also, in our last episode? Yeah, last episode, I was saying like I don't think it's necessary to tell you every single thing about your past to your partner. And somebody commented saying, I wouldn't want to know every single thing unless it's A, if she has an OnlyFans, or B, if she has a criminal record. I'm like,
Who said that?
really weird end of the
Wait,
spectrum.
on what platform did they say
On
that?
TikTok, someone commented like, if she has or ever had or a criminal record. I'm like, like, is that just weird? Like criminal record or OnlyFans? And I was kind of thinking like, interesting.
Makes sense. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because like obviously criminal record speaks for itself. Like if you have been to jail for fucking domestic abuse a bunch
No,
of
yeah,
times,
that makes sense. But it was like kind of two ends of the spectrum. How like OnlyFans is like grouped in with that. You know what
Oh,
I'm trying
yeah,
to say?
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was odd. It was not odd.
as
it's
if
just
as if
interesting.
being part of OnlyFans makes you like a criminal,
Well,
equivalent to a
some
criminal.
people that's like a huge like no, and some people don't agree
Is
with it.
OnlyFans a real job?
Are you making money from it?
Yes.
So, I mean, a
No,
job.
well, not me, but
No,
in
I'm just
general.
saying, I feel like a job, I would never do it ever, but I feel like a job is where, you know, you do things for money.
I think,
I don't know.
okay, this is a whole other convo. We'll
Okay,
talk about
we need to
OnlyFans
wrap it
last
up.
time.
We
yeah.
can have another conversation. We can have a guest on if they want to talk about it.
Okay, if anybody out here does OnlyFans and they want to talk about their experience on OnlyFans, because I really don't know much about it. There's always like some negative connotation on it, but I really just think that like some of these people are creators, you know what I mean? Maybe it's an art. If you're an OnlyFans superstar and make a living off of it, like we want
why
to
can't
talk to you on
OnlyFans
the
be-
podcast. Sorry, had to get that thought out
Sorry.
before she
Why
interrupted
can't
me.
OnlyFans, why is it not a job, but porn stars are a job?
Some
Not
people
porn
would
stars,
argue that
pornography is a job.
some people would argue that being a porn star is an actual job. Like there's a negative connotation with sex work, but it's
I
a
don't know.
type. It's a field. It's
a lot
an
of
industry.
people who say that OnlyFans is not a job say that are a lot of people who also like watch porn and like are okay with watching porn and like doing
It seems like a lot of people that say OnlyFans and like being a porn star isn't a real job are the
ones
people who
engaging in it.
the ones that are engaging in it, but also the ones who just wouldn't be okay if their own girl was doing that sort of thing. But you're okay watching other girls doing that sort of thing.
Food for thought. All right, guys, we're gonna clock out, but that was great vent session. I feel better sitting down here. I missed this room. So anyways, see you guys next week or in 2 weeks.